Hi sewing friends, my name's Karina from liftingpinsandneedles.com. Welcome to this channel that is all about sewing, limitless sewing, and it's usually all about sewing. It's a type of your yearly vlog situation where I go to another place in this beautiful country that is Brazil, show you the sights. As you know, I have a pretty complete handmade wardrobe. Most of what I took on my trip was handmade by me, probably 99.9%, except for socks and bras and maybe a t-shirt. So I will be sharing all the outfits that I wore so you can see them in real life, and also I will show you what I got up to. So if you are 100% here only for sewing content, this is not the video for you. You'll find about 600 other videos on the channel that are about sewing. This is a once a year type situation where I just show a little bit more personal things. You will see a little glimpse of my husband and my son here and there. They won't appear talking, but you'll see them around. They pretty much have passed unseen in all these years of YouTube. This time it was really relaxing for me. It was just what I needed. Although I kept working while I was over there, I was not sewing, I was still editing videos for you. It at least was a different place, a different scenario with different activities. We went to the south of Brazil that borders with Paraguay and Argentina. There's a unique space in the map there where you have the three countries sort of join in the same place. And the Brazilian side, the city right there, is called Iguazu. It's 1,000 kilometers from here. That's about 600 miles. And although I know some people do the drive like in one whole day, it's like a 16-hour drive. There's no way we could have done that, so we stopped halfway. We stopped a little halfway over at about 400 miles in a big city called Maringa. So we had a whole day of driving. I wanted to be really, really comfortable. And you'll be surprised that you'll see me only wearing woven pants in this trip. I didn't take any knit pants there at all. So you see that the pants that I make for myself, they have enough ease, comfortable fabrics. I took linen blend fabrics. I can wear them in a car. I can wear them all day and feel absolutely comfortable. So I'm just trying to break that myth a little bit that only knit pants are comfortable. It doesn't have to be. So on my first day, I just wore my black duet trousers, which were going to be worn plenty of times. Black linen, they're going to, withstand the travel and maybe a stain or two. And I was always planning to wear them at least 2 or 3 times. And on the top, I wore something really comfortable. We started our trip really early, so I wanted my arms partially covered, but not fully covered. So I just pulled out my Chasing Butterflies batwing top from Pattern Emporium. And it's all black and white. It's really easy. I put on a pair of loafers to be really comfy. And it was a great travel outfit. And around 2 hours from the start of our trip, it was a surprise. I had no idea that hubby was planning us taking a little tiny break. There's a city called Paru, all within the state of Sao Paulo. The state of Sao Paulo is huge. You can drive for hours and you're still in the same state. It's massive. So there's a little zoo there that belongs to the city actually. I really loved it because it was like you're being in a really big park. To get into the zoo, we just paid $1 whole each. And the first thing I saw were the kangaroos. Last time I saw kangaroos was in Australia, in Sydney. Actually, I went to a wildlife park there and it was nice to see those again. Now these birds, we have them locally. And once I saw one walking on the street, I tripped and I busted my knee from the shock of seeing such a huge bird just walking around. So I've definitely seen these out in the wild around where I live. Really cool zoo because I got to see a bunch of animals I'd never ever seen before. These wild animals are sort of endemic to this area and there's a lot of conservation going on. They've rescued some, so there's a lot of that going on in this place and it's really nice to see. Look at this little bird. His face is just so cute. I spent a whole time looking at details on his face. And then you had other birds that I'd seen before, definitely, like these ostriches. And then owls I see around my area as well a lot. I see them, they just lay their eggs on the grass and then the couple just stay and watch them. And I've seen so many owls around where I live and I've always found them just to be so adorable, so cute. And I was surprised they had a cassowary because these are not from here, so I suppose they bring them. I did see some of these in Australia. They're supposed to be the most dangerous bird ever. They are huge. They're just really pretty to look at. They have such lovely colors. I just really enjoy them. They had quite a big area to play around and run around. They were quite active when I saw them there. And then I always love the llamas. They're just so fun to look at. And they had quite a lot of these types of animals as well. During my younger years, I'd always dreamed of working in a place like this because I really wanted to be a vet. And there was a big area with fish, not the prettiest fish you've ever seen, but fish that are sort of local to here. There was a fish that was like kissing the glass and it was just stuck there. It was so funny. I had to take a selfie. We walked around for about 2 hours and it was a really good way to break up the trip so it wouldn't seem so long. After the Paru Zoo, we still had hours and hours yet to drive, so that was pretty long. We got to the city, Maringa, sort of almost at sunset, and that's when I saw a fabric shop when we were going into the hotel area. So if you haven't seen my Come Shopping With Me fabric haul, that video is already up on the channel. I show you where I went fabric shopping in that city with footage of the shop and everything and what I got. So that's a fun video I already have up for you. About a block from our hotel was a big square sort of right in the middle of the city. There is a cathedral there that's a big tourist spot. It's made entirely out of cement and it's very uniquely shaped. And it's 115 meters tall. It's super tall. That's like, I don't know, almost 400 feet tall. And I was able to film it from far away from the corner there, and you could see the lights in the nighttime. It looks stunning because behind all the cement work, there are glass sections behind there with different colors. So it was really unique and stunning to look at in the nighttime. We were so tired from all the trip that we didn't go really close to it, but there's a little look. And we were planning to go there the next day in the daytime before continuing the trip. So that next morning before I went to shop for fabric, I just put on an outfit that I used only for part of the morning to have breakfast at the hotel, to go fabric shopping and to see the cathedral. And you're seeing it right here. Very easy to just slip on my Reynolds dress from Helen's Closet. Very nice. I just left it in the shower and just steamed it, you know, while we were all having showers, and all the little crinkles went away. That's what I always do in hotels. And on top, I put my sleeveless Metra blazer that you will see plenty in this trip because I wore it a lot as a light layering piece. Little walkable heels and a biggish bag, and I was on my way. And it was a really nice fresh outfit. It was like 75 Fahrenheit, about 24-25 degrees Celsius, which is amazing weather for the morning in full-on winter. Today we're in a city called Maringa in the state of Paraná in Brazil, and I'm at a hotel. I have a microphone, so I hope you can hear me. Today we have to drive about 200 miles, about 350 kilometers over to the city of Foz do Iguaçu, which is our final destination. This was just sort of halfway, and there's a really cool cathedral, very amazing. I'm gonna actually take a shot where you can see it on the back, and then we're gonna go there in a little bit, so I'll show you that because it's very unique. Our hotel is basically right in front of this square that has that big cathedral. I showed it to you on the background from the pool just now, but we're gonna go closer. Look how tall this is. Super tall and pointy there on the top. It was so much more majestic last night with all the lights because all that design there was just colorful lights, but in the daytime you can't see a thing. Water looks so fresh. I can see the colorful glass behind, although it's in daytime you can't see the colors real well. It's the entrance. It's sort of round inside. From the inside you can see the color detail, the work here. Look how pretty that is. So pretty. There are different tones on the colors on the walls. There's sort of more red and green tones over there. Those are the ones that I'm drawn to straight away. When we passed in the night, you could see these colors from the outside of the cathedral, and it was just breathtaking. After that, we went on our way and we drove the whole day. There was nothing really interesting to see. We changed states from the state of Sao Paulo into the state of Paraná. What you see when you're doing a road trip here is just really nice. It's all sloping and it's all green, it's all beautiful. And there's palm trees everywhere. You don't go through boring scenery at all, so it's really nice. and I always enjoy that. Even when I go to nearby towns here, everything's green and it's just really relaxing. So for this trip I changed. I didn't want to go in my dress. So I pulled out my navy Allegro pants from Love Notions, another pair of woven pants, and this time I just paired it with a cotton t-shirt that's ready to wear. It's probably the only ready-to-wear thing I took. It was really comfortable. It was mainly navy with a few white stripes. I wore some beige sneakers, really nice, comfortable, with a bag. I was able to get 2 little fit clips of those. I wasn't going to anywhere nice to film the outfits in, but you can see what I wore there, and it was very practical and very comfortable. We arrived in the city of Foz do Iguaçu towards sunset again, and the weather really surprised us. It was pouring rain and it was actually sort of cold, at least for me. The good thing about doing road trips, you know, you can take a big suitcase, and I was able to take a lot of clothes. I took clothes for hot weather, for cold weather. I took a bunch of shoes, not as stressful as trying to plan everything properly in a plane where you can't take much. So I was pretty much prepared. The next day we had planned to go to the waterfalls, which was the main attraction in this area. But looking at the weather apps and all that, we figured out it was going to rain for like 3 days. So we're like, okay, we'll go when it gets sunny again. There's a border there to go to Paraguay, which is a country I've never been in. I have now, but I really can't say I know the country because I was only at the border in the shopping area. Supposed to be like a tax-free haven there in Paraguay. You're only allowed to purchase a certain amount and bring back into Brazil for you not to get taxed. We weren't planning on buying a whole bunch of stuff. We just wanted to go and see the place. It was raining like a lot. So my husband got us these plastic capes that you just put on over your clothes, and we just walked from one country to the next. This is a place called Ponte da Amizade, and it's a bridge where you cross from Foz do Iguaçu in Brazil over to Ciudad del Este, Paraguay, and you have to cross walking. It's raining. I'm wearing some sort of plastic cape. It's a pretty hideous day, but it's still super hot. Humidity is like 90%, so I'm a hot mess. So beautiful. It would have been nicer if it was a nice sunny day. But at least we're not freezing. I mean, it's really hot and humid anyway. It's just a little bit wet. What I found bizarre was that you could just cross walking and you didn't need to present documents anywhere. When you got on the other side, there were lots of street markets. Reminded me about the area of Bolivia I lived in, and then we went into this fancy mall called Paris. They were opening this cafe place and they had a little dance thingy there, like for the grand opening. That was interesting. They looked like they were having fun. By this time, the rain had stopped and everything outside was a little bit more dry. From one of the top floors, I was able to get this image. This is the bridge that we crossed. Inside, there was all sorts of commerce. It was pretty overwhelming. Lots of colors. We weren't planning on buying much, and you could find things of different brands, from very affordable to very expensive electronics. Inside one of these malls, I was able to film my outfit for the day. I wanted it to be super practical. I knew it was raining. There was a chance of me getting stains from mud and whatnot. So mainly black, my black duet trousers to the rescue again. I wore a purple Zakopane top from Itch to Stitch. It's a sleeveless top, but before putting the jacket on top, I wore a small crossbody bag and then I put the jacket on. That's what I usually do when I'm going to go to crowded situations where I'm sort of concerned about safety a little bit. I don't want to be carrying a bag on the side that's easy for someone to get their hand into, if you know what I mean. So small crossbody bag, jacket on top, comfy sneakers. We walked about 20,000 steps that day because we did it all on foot, walking from one country to the other, crossing that bridge. And then we went to another more big place called Mona Lisa. Not too safe on the outside, so I just filmed a little bit on the inside. And on the first floor, there were so many perfumes. I got one there, and there were lots of luxury things in this shop. It was more of a tourist experience. My husband and my son were bored out of their minds. Poor Martin, they were troopers. They just went with me everywhere I wanted to go. This shopping had like 7 floors, and there was one floor in this shop where they had a lot of artwork, quite luxurious looking, super expensive. I tried to film my outfit there, but the lighting was just terrible. I've already shown you what I was wearing, but here I am making a fool out of myself in the shopping mall. On one of the floors, they sold athletic wear, and I did buy myself a pair of sneakers here that I needed for my trekking adventures in the waterfalls. I just came unprepared. So it was a fun little day. Yeah, it was a pretty intense, full-on day. And luckily, even though it was raining, it wasn't super cold. So me being sleeveless was perfect. Only got one perfume, which is one I'd wanted to have for a long time. Maybe you know it because it's a classic. It's from Lancome and it's called Tresor. I'd wanted that one for so long and I got it there for quite a chunk less than what it usually costs because it was tax-free. And I got some makeup, sneakers, and that was pretty much it. And now I can tick the box. I've been to Paraguay, Ciudad del Este, that's the name of the city right there. The next day, again, was raining. We went to an area that has a lot of indoor activities. My outfit, again, I got my navy Allegro pants. I took my Coda jacket, so comfortable, and just the perfect layering piece that gave me enough warmth and didn't make me hot or cold for such a weird day. And I like combining those navy and beige tones with something a little more impactful like burgundy. So I took a Chloe top from Sinclair. It's got a little cow neckline and that's what I wore underneath. Some matching sneakers and bag. One of the places we went to in that section was an ice spa and I've never been to anything like that. Here it says, I love Falls Iguazu. Just you can see my feet from far away. And we're going into a place called Dreams Ice Spa, which is a place that's freezing inside. They give you jackets, gloves, everything for you to get dressed. I feel really weird with all these layers. For you who live in the cold, I don't know how you cope. Inside there was sort of like a club environment that I'm not used to. It had a lot of very catchy dancey music, ice sculptures, and you got a cup made out of ice. You could choose what you wanted. There was lots of fruit juices and there was also some alcoholic drinks. I've never had a drop of alcohol in my life. So I just had some grape juice and then I had some chocolate milk. We all had these frozen cups and they give us 30 minutes to stay in there, and I don't think anyone lasted more than 15 minutes in the group that we went in. I snuck some footage of my son and my husband there. It was pretty cold. I had to take my hands out of the gloves to be able to film, and I was very happy to be out of there after like 10 to 15 minutes. It was different, it was fun. There were little kids, even whole families, all sorts. You could drink either fruit juices or they had some traditional Brazilian alcoholic beverages. We don't drink, but I saw some people were. I guess that would have kept them warm. But most people did not last the 30 minutes in there. It was absolutely freezing. And I haven't lived in a place with actual winter for so long. I don't know how I'd cope. I hated the sensation of all those layers, like all my clothes and the huge jacket on top. That just felt horrific for me, really heavy. By then it was only drizzling, it wasn't that rainy anymore, so we went to a falcon rescue center that was in that same area of the city, and that was amazing. In a controlled environment, they're able to do some training exercises on these birds that are in rehabilitation, and they come up close, they fly over your head, they're quite accustomed to people. We're supposed to be very quiet and I could just feel the wind of the wings over my head. Everything's being narrated there, and as someone that likes animals and birds, just knowing more about these creatures is always super interesting. And then I'd never seen an owl so up close as well. It was a beautiful creature. And it just flew right on top of us there. I was able to film it. And then as it was flying back to the train, it just went right over my head as well. That was so cool. It just flew back to where it had to go, onto the leather glove. And they also had a pair of siblings, these vultures. They were rescued and they were just really funny to look at, the way they hop around and walk. They're training them to fly. They lost their mother. And it's just really cool to see a creature like this so up close. Only seen them from far away when they're flying over places, and they tend to be a little bit spooky. It's nice to see that there are centers like this that worry even about vultures. After this, we went to this humongous closed enclosure where they have a lot of birds there that you can see up close. Here I'm up close to the parrots again. I love them so much. I can feed them daily, but I never get to see them real up close. So it's so lovely to be here. Look, these parrots are the same ones that are in my house that make a big noise when I'm filming. Now you can really see them, because in my house they're always camouflaged. I never am able to film them properly. These have way more colors. Look at that corn they're eating, so cute. That one right there is like talking or something. He's making funny noises, and it's got such lovely colors under the wings. Hello. Hi. Hello. Hello. Huh? Huh? You like sewing? Of course you do. It's like this one's having a little bit of a nap right there. So pretty. Napping parrot.
Keep going.
I don't know. Yeah. That's funny. As we were leaving, this man was training his horse there, and all the movements the horse is doing are in response to noise commands like whistles and kissing sounds. So he's not using the reins at all. As you can see, it's like hands free, and that was cool to see. Really cool. All in the mud, a really rainy day, but most of this was under the roof, so all the slight drizzle and rain was not a problem. That was amazing. I love animals, I love birds, I love everything nature. This was a long day, and after all of that, we still had one more place to go, and it's called Marco das Tres Fronteiras. We're in a place called Marco das Tres Fronteiras, and it means it's like a junction of the three borders. We're in the Brazilian side right now, but I'll switch the camera and you'll be able to see Paraguay and Argentina. And that's a river called Paraná River, and over there that's Paraguay, and right over there is Argentina, and we're in Brazil here. So it's all in the same place, really cool. Been really cloudy, it's supposed to be sunny tomorrow and all the other days that we're gonna be here, so I hope to get nicer footage. Still very beautiful, very tropical, very green. The next day was the first sunny day, and it was a beautiful, beautiful day. This is the day that we go to church. We didn't have any touristy things planned, just go to church and then just nap and rest in the afternoon. And I took a dress that's really easy to care for. It's a Sicily slip dress from Patterns by Mason. It's made out of rayon twill. And although when I got there it was really crumpled, I had it hanging in the bathroom for about 2 or 3 days, just getting all the steam from all our showers, and by the time it came for me to use it, it was perfect. And on top I wore my Metra blazer that's made out of ponte with lots of print, beautiful. That was actually the star of the outfit because of all the colors. The dress was very basic. As I mentioned, I took a lot of shoes. I took a little tiny bag full of shoes. So I took my favorite pointy toe slingback block heel shoes, just a black bag, and I was all set to go. So I felt like I was in my style. I felt like I wasn't dressing down just because I was traveling. I dress like that all the time, so that was nice. That night we went to a mall. We just had to pick up some things there. Martin was running out of t-shirts, and I just got a really quick fit clip of what I was wearing, another pair of linen pants. These are my Ardent pants from Helen's Closet. Very comfortable, pull-up, elasticized waist. And on top I have my tropical shirt from Wardrobe by Me. That one has raglan sleeves, and I love that black and white linen. It's just really striking. Comfy sneakers because I'm all about comfort. And that's just another look. Although I don't have much footage of it, it is actually something I wore for a couple of hours that day. The next 2 days were the last of our trip and the most special. The days were perfection. The weather was nice and hot. The sky was blue. There was not a drop of rain anywhere, and it was the perfect day to go and see these waterfalls. All the water that you see there going down the falls comes from a river called Iguazu River. And there's an Argentinian side and a Brazilian side. I wanted to be super comfortable. I wanted to also wear something that stood out so my family could easily spot me. So I wore my black duet trousers again, super comfortable, black sneakers. I actually bought these sneakers in Paraguay because they're the typical athletic sneaker made out of textile that could easily dry if it got wet. I was anticipating getting a little bit wet at the waterfalls. Not too fashionable, but practical. And on top, I just had a cami and my Aria shirt in stripes. Really easy to see me from any place. Sometimes we do go our separate ways, you know, we go to the bathrooms and stuff. So I wanted them to find me easily, so achieve that purpose. My handmade outfit ticked all the boxes for everything. Before going to the falls, we went to a bird park that's right next to the falls. Love birds, and I saw so many birds I'd never seen before. Today we're going to a place called Parque das Aves. It's a bird park basically next to the waterfalls. So we're going to spend a couple hours here looking at everything, and I'll show you the birds, I'll show you the sights. So it's such a beautiful day, and the weather's perfect. It's not hot, it's not cold. Look at these red flamingos. They are so red. I just never seen anything like it before. I can't believe how red they are. They're just so red. If you can see that white bird right there, we actually have these where we live. Like, I've seen them when walking around the university campus. So I've seen those in person before, but definitely not these. red flamingos. So the park is very big and we'll be doing lots of walking. That's why I'm wearing really comfy sneakers. I actually had to buy these sneakers because I didn't come prepared. I just didn't think. All my sneakers are leather and I'll be getting wet, so I had to buy some New Balance. But you know, the typical sneakers that are part fabric that will just dry easier. Every little tree has this type of red situation going on. I knew there was going to be lots of red. Maybe that's why I'm wearing red today as well, so I can match the surroundings. So we're in this huge area that's enclosed. There are like nets everywhere, but it's huge, so the birds are just living their lives right here. Love places like this because you can see them up close. You're not going to touch them. You're supposed to be sort of quiet. That's why I have a microphone and I'm trying to speak as soft as I can. Here's another one. It's like they're just giving us a little show. Lots of the birds seem to have dark type of feathers with a really bright beak, like this one. Really bright red beak, so pretty. So many sounds, like the bird sounds are just amazing and it's so loud. And look up there, all those red flamingos, they're up in the heights. Impressive, really beautiful. This is as close as my camera can go. It's just an iPhone, but look how amazing. Here we're inside another bird enclosure type thing. And again, I have parrots that are from my backyard. Oh no, this one's much more colorful. Look how colorful you are. And then the typical red, green ones, they're probably in my backyard. Look at you guys having a little cuddle. Here's another little couple just on the veranda there. Very up close, they don't seem to mind. Oh, so cute, look at them. Look at this one right here, very colorful. Over there, there's a few more. Look, he went to where they all are hanging out. So we have these toucans locally where we live in, and I've seen some in my backyard. Here's one, nice and up close. They're just so precious, and they have the most unusual sound when they call to each other. He's the closest I've ever been to one. It's just very close right now, having a little bit of a feed. Gosh, how beautiful these are. So gorgeous. It looks like its beak has been painted on. Like, it's amazing that this is just all normal, natural to them. And they don't even know how striking they look. I don't even know how they can keep their balance flying with that humongous beak in the front of their heads. These yellow birds are called arajuba here. They're yellow parrots. They have tons in this enclosure. It's quite big, so they're quite up there. I can't really see them up close. It's a shame. The one I'm going to show you is korakohupiao. It's very bright. It's a type of orangey color. What a great combination of colors. It's a shame I can't wear orange, but I think the combination of colors with the black and the white is really striking. It's always the best colors that birds have. That is an owl. Here they call them coruja. And there's 3 of them here, but that's the only one I can see the face. And there's one having a little nap in that little tree trunk right there. Here we came to an enclosure where they have the really huge parrots with a lot of colors, and they even have those blue ones. I just can't believe they're just flying over our heads like nothing. They're having their conversations. Over there, there's a couple of the blue ones. Oh my gosh, I'd never seen this in person. And they're so close. These are just real up close here on the floor. They're right behind me. They're just so beautiful. I could spend hours here just looking at them. They're just so entertaining. And look at this, they put out some fruit and orange juice so the butterflies can come and have a drink. These owls, look at them. Most of the ones I've seen today have been sleeping, like having a nap, but these 2 are sort of awake right there. How cute are they? They're just so cute. These are called coruja oreluda because they seem to have big ears. Can you see the bunch of eggs under the owl right there? It's just a little couple that had little babies right there. Look at all the eggs. So I'd seen cassowaries in enclosures in Australia. It's the closest I've ever been up to one. Huge. We just finished the bird park. We were in here for about 2 hours. I don't know, I really took in the sights. The birds were amazing. Got a couple of souvenirs. I actually got myself a men's t-shirt that the cotton is amazing and the print on it is really cool. So I'm just gonna resize that so it fits me. None of the women's shirts had anything to do with me. These parrots made out of glitter, just, yeah, no thanks. And now we have to walk a tiny little bit for the entrance of the waterfalls. And then we have to walk about 2 miles to get to the actual waterfalls. It's been a wonderful day. It's sunny, it's beautiful, and I'm just so grateful to be here. Then it was finally time to go to the Iguazu waterfalls. If you've never been there, they are just majestic. It's just amazing, just beautiful, beautiful. We have a longish walk ahead of us to get to the waterfalls. There's Martin. Say hello.
Hello.
Here's a little map of the area. I'm terrible at following maps. So we came on a Sunday, which is the worst day, like it's the day that's most filled with people. And we wanted to come on Wednesday or Thursday, but it was pouring rain. It would have been a very bad day to come here. It's a great little scenic walk. It's all under the shade, so that's nice, but it's just really crowded. You can pay and take a boat right up there inside that river, like it takes you real up close. I was here in 1994 when I was almost 15 years old. I was 14. I came with my parents, my brother. Almost been 29 years to be back after so long. There's a little place where you can take a picture by yourself and look at the queue all the way to get your turn there. There's no way, I couldn't. Look at this behind me, it's so beautiful. I'm surrounded by people, but somehow I'm still getting a beautiful shot with no one around me. Right on top of the waterfalls around there, you can see the walkways from Argentina. There's so many people on the other side as well. The Argentinian side, it's a whole different viewpoint. Can't say it enough, it's such a blessed day, like it's a blessing to be here. So much beauty, amazing. The water is just so powerful. We're getting closer and closer and closer. Look at this, it's a helicopter up on top. I think you had to pay $200 per person to go on the helicopter. So beautiful. There's a rainbow, gorgeous. Look at the rainbow. Another little rainbow down there. I've never seen so many rainbows. We're very close right here. Look at that, so beautiful. So water is just coming at me from the waterfalls here. I had to take my microphone off because I'm not sure it's water resistant. The next day was also a beautiful, beautiful sunny day. We didn't have definite plans the night before, but then my husband decided, let's go to the Argentinian side of the waterfalls. None of us had ever been there. And it was really nice to get the different point of view because it's from a different side of the waterfalls, sort of from the top area. And it was totally worth taking the drive through the bridge. My outfit here was gonna be my tinley shorts that I just made just a couple of weeks ago, also in stripes with linen. I wore a black knit top, the azalea top from Sinclair Patterns, really, really easy to throw on and wear. And I like that top because it's not that basic, it's got that little twist going on there, so that was nice. Comfy sneakers and a biggish bag and I was set to go. Today we're gonna go to the Argentinian side of the waterfalls. We're doing a really long queue now at the border to get through. We have to go through the foreigners queue. It'll take a bit longer than if we were actually Argentinian, but we're not. So patience. So it's another point of view from another different area. I think we have to walk a little bit more, and we're going by car. We finally made it to the Argentinian side, and we're at the Parque de Iguazu, which is the Spanish part of it over on the Argentinian side. So we have a lot of walking to do here, more than yesterday, I think. And I'm super comfy. I'm wearing my Tinley shorts in stripes. Even though they're woven, it's not that they're uncomfortable. You know, you don't have to think only knits are comfortable. These are super comfortable, pull up, flat front, elasticated back. I could wear this all day, and there's a nice amount of ease for it. So just waiting for hubby to pick up the ticket so we can get going. So it says you're entering a wild natural area that involves risk to your safety and health caused by the forces. I can't really imagine what could go wrong here if you stay on your paths. I mean, there are some wild animals here, but I don't think a leopard's gonna come and want to say hello when there's so many people. They do live in the wild, like naturally over here. I've seen signs everywhere that you could see one, but I don't think so. I don't think so. So yesterday in the Brazilian side, we took a bus that took us a little closer to the falls. But here on the Argentinian side, we're gonna take a little train. But we still have to walk. I mean, there's no way you can get directly there without a little bit of a hike. But that's fine. I'm comfy, Tinley shorts, sneakers. These little creatures, I think they're a type of rodent. He doesn't seem distressed by people at all. And we're in a place waiting for the train, and there's a lot of people around, and he's just finding his little food. What I can hear from other people is that this is called a cuchilla. Now he's running back to where he belongs. We're on a little train. Look at them. Look, it's like open on both sides. Loving this little train ride. It's super relaxing. Beautiful weather. And it's just the air's coming in from both sides. Much nicer than the bus trip we took yesterday that was all closed, Diva. It's what divides Argentina to Brazil. So you can see that behind the trees right there. You could do this by foot, but you know, who would want to be walking in the mud when you could be riding a little train like this? Such a beautiful day. The sky is totally blue. There's not a cloud in the sky. Just perfect. All these paths leading up to the falls are on these like bridges, and we're crossing parts of the river. The river is super calm. There's not much current that I can see. But over there you can see that like mist type thing. That's from the falls right there. Look at these huge type of fish right here. The men around here are like lusting over them. They want their fishing poles. It's obviously not allowed. I think it's like a catfish or something. Turtle minding its business there on a little rock. So this butterfly just came and stood on my husband's hand. Look at it. It's just chilling there. It's on my hand. Look at this. Let's see how long I can carry it for. It tickles though. It's purple and orange. Nature has the best combinations of colors. Here we're getting close to this area of the waterfalls. And the river here looks so calm, and then it just goes down to that area. And look at all the mist there from the waterfalls. Look at all that water. Camera shakes because when people walk on this little metal thing, it like bounces a little. Look at that behind me. It's a whole different viewpoint here. We're on the top of the waterfalls. The Brazilian side, we were looking down from the bottom. So it's a really different experience from both sides. Look at all the mist just coming up from the waterfalls. So beautiful right here. Look at all that behind me. It's the most majestic thing ever. All jungle, all green, butterflies, all that stuff. And then all of this. this place. Ah, so gorgeous. Look, right in the center of this place. Just wow. My husband's already been here, so nothing surprising for him, but it's my first time on this side and I'm just really overwhelmed right now. Like I literally feel like crying. It's just so amazing here. He's apparently come in here looking for like rubbish and stuff, but they're wild creatures. I'm not sure what it is. It's literally right next to me. You're not supposed to feed these things. They say they're dangerous, they can bite you and stuff, but they just come looking for scraps. Leaving the waterfalls was a bummer. I would have stayed all day. I would have come several times. It was just such a nice day out in nature and just so beautiful to be there. But then we had 2 days of traveling back. The day that we were going to travel back, I just filmed my outfit real quick outside next to the pool area of the hotel, and I got my pull-on tinny skirt that I made in an athletic knit. I wore the same black top I'd wore the day before and just a pair of slides, really, really comfortable. When I travel a little lighter like this with legs and arms out, I always get a little cold in the car because of air conditioning, so I had a little like shawl type situation in the car to cover myself up, but it was a really nice way to travel, comfy, and yeah, it was a really nice travel outfit as well, though most of the time I do it with pants. I felt like doing it with a skirt that time. By the second day of travel, I was just so exhausted and I didn't really remember to film what I was wearing. It was nothing remarkable because I can't even remember. But that day when we got back here, I was feeling a little bit strange. The next day, I was full on with a cold. Last Friday's video where I showed you my shopping trip and my haul, as soon as I finished editing that video, I went into full-on fever and shaking and just body aches, and I was miserable, wiped out for a couple of days. It's Thursday, I'm filming this on a Thursday. I'd say last night I started to feel a bit better, so I'm a little bit better, turned the corner. But any cold, any flu, virus, whatever I get, always just ends up in my chest. And I end up with that dry cough and just feeling horrendous. But I feel I'm a little bit better, so that's nice. It's always nice to feel good in your body, good in yourself. And I'm happy I was able to share this with you. I've been editing this for days, just little bits at a time as I can. It is incredibly hard to pull all the footage together, you would not believe. I don't know how people do this type of content continuously, because yeah, it was pretty challenging to put all this together, but I hope it was fun for you to see something different, a little bit more personal, a little bit about the life of the person that you see here, always talking about sewing. Well, you got to see my makes and other things that we get up to. We don't travel a lot, try to do a trip once a year, so that was really nice. I'm happy to have shared a little bit with you, and I promise the next video and so forth will be actually about sewing. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye.